I do want to talk about Tom Wolfe for a minute before we get to all the other news. Tom Wolfe died. He was 88, I believe. One of our great novelists. And one of the reasons he was, and not just a great novelist, he was a great writer. He was a great man of letters. I think that's really important to put it that way, because he started out doing journalism, and he did this new journalism, was filled with slang and all capital letters and exclamation marks. But it was journalism. And what he realized, along with Truman Capote and Norman Mailer, was he realized that when we live in this incredible media world, the truth has become our story. It used to be that, the story about the king, you would never really hear the story about the king, so you told stories about kings. But now our kings are on TV. We see them every day. Our leaders are operating right in front of us, and within a year, you find out everything. And so what these guys realized was that reality had become the new fiction. And so Wolfe wrote with that insight, and also he understood, as Stephen King would understand, I think a little bit later than he did, he understood that even though he himself was a cultured man, a deeply cultured, deeply educated man, he understood that American culture is not based on Homer. It's not based on the great classical literature. It is based on comic books and popular. He realized that the people were the culture. He realized that our culture comes from this vibrant group of people, not all of whom are well-read, not all of whom are, elites. And he put that language into what he wrote. And he was a conservative. There is simply no getting around this. He wrote, Roger Kimball was writing about this in the Wall Street Journal today. It's a really good piece if you get a chance to look at it. But he understood, he made fun of the liberals during the 60s who would host parties for Black Panthers who essentially wanted to kill them. It was like, I think it was called Mau Mau and the Flatcatchers or something like this. He made fun of the modern art world. One of my favorite things he did was he talked about how modern art was just theory and it wasn't actual representation of real life. And he was very committed to the representation of real life. Even when he started writing novels, he would go off and research them just as he would journalism, because he wanted to write novels in the tradition of Zola and Dickens with a kind of journalistic flair. And while, like all artists, he criticized our culture, because artists do that. They find the things that are about human beings that are wrong. He didn't attack our culture, which is two different things. Let me